Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All right, here we go on a Friday, a cool, big-time weekend of Football Friday as we lead things off with a lot of fun here on a Friday. You know our home by now. It is Bricks Jacks Beach, and we are having a big time. There's a nice crowd rolling in already here. Gator fans everywhere as Florida, they are in the middle of their a bowl game. They just kicked off about 20 minutes ago, Florida and Tulane in the Gasparilla Bowl. The Gators lead 3-0 on a field goal by Trey Smack on their second drive of the ball game. Tulane has the ball about midfield. We'll keep you updated as we go here, 4 to 6, the Young and Norvelle Show on a Friday from our Friday home, Bricks Jacks Beach. Remember, a great place if you're in the area looking to watch this ball game and or get down and kind of relax. I know a lot of people had the day off today. You can kind of feel the holiday season is upon us, and a lot of work. Traditional jobs have kind of shut down. Feel free, if you're in the area, come by, say hi. Remember, it is Friday, and that means it is their legendary Friday ribeye steak special. $12.99 gets you a ribeye steak and 2 sides. You can't beat it. The place is full of Gators and football fans as we have Florida, Tulane. They kicked off around 3:40. This game will take us really a little bit past 7 o'clock, which will lead right into the first college football playoff game of the season and ever with regard to a 12-team playoff. Later tonight, 8 o'clock is the broadcast. The kickoff will probably be about 8:15, 8:20. Indiana at Notre Dame. We'll talk about that. The weather reports from South Bend. And then tomorrow, a huge day. Tomorrow, I don't know if the games will live up to it, but tomorrow I am proclaiming, and I don't think there's an argument, tomorrow is the greatest single day of football in the history of the United States. You cannot top it. It has never been done before. The games may not play out to be great, but tomorrow, do you realize you have not 1, not 2, but 3 college football playoff games where the winner moves on, the loser goes home. Elimination football tournament in college with 12 teams. You got 3 games tomorrow. And also, I don't know if a lot of people have figured out tomorrow the NFL has 2 games, 2 meaningful games. There's a 1 and a 4:30 game in the NFL tomorrow mixed in. That is 5 big time football games on the air to watch from noon on tomorrow. Huge day. And then, of course, a Sunday full slate of NFL games. By the way, we haven't said this very often in a number of years. I am very confident that Sunday the Jaguars win. I think the Jaguars, man, I can't see them losing their football game Sunday in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders have shut it down. It was a miserable performance, it has been a miserable performance all year for the Raiders. I think the Jaguars get a win on the road Sunday in an afternoon game. So that kind of sets up the schedule of football that we have coming up today, tonight, tomorrow, and then, of course, Sunday with the NFL winding down. Final 3 weekends are upon us. We will have Brent Beard in a few minutes. We'll have Brent for a couple, 2 or 3 segments, hopefully here in the 4 o'clock hour. Patrick Young, I'm not sure if he's going to jump in. Hopefully he will. We'll talk about the Florida game. We'll track the Florida game. We also, Zach Rothrock, we have our picks to make, our show picks. We've got 3 college and 3 NFL. So a lot going on. Brent Beard will join us here in about 5 minutes. We'll walk you through the Florida-Tulane game. Tulane just had a player go down on the field. He was injured. We went to a commercial timeout. I did not realize it might be very serious because he is being carted off. Tulane has a player being carted off of the field right now. Florida-Tulane, Gasparilla Bowl, getting late in the first half. It is a big offensive lineman for Tulane. He's being carted off. So hopefully that's just precautionary. But right now, Florida leading Tulane 3-0. The Gators, we'll talk to Brent Beard about this as well. Not a great start to Florida. Looking at who's on the field, you can see that Billy Napier, I don't think, has taken this as a huge game. Number one, he has rewarded his seniors, which a lot of coaches do, but it looks like Napier is starting and playing a lot of his upperclassmen that might not be back, maybe senior football players, number one. Number two, Napier and the Florida Gators, the first offensive play for the Gators, they ran kind of a cutesy-wootsy, tricky play. They sent Lagway out as a wide receiver. I did not love that as the approach, as we're back to action. Tulane with a quick pass, incomplete. So Florida got stopped on their first drive. They went to punt, and they had to call a timeout. They didn't have enough players on the field. My God, guys. And I hate to rain on this early parade of a bowl game for the Gators, but we're 13 games in. You are 13 games into your season. Your third year, Billy Napier's got to get help, man. He has got to get help. And you know what? Does he run the special teams? Maybe not. But he's a head coach. He's in charge of putting guys out there that will run the special teams. You cannot have a timeout because you don't have enough players on the field on your first punt of the game 13. And we only had a few snaps. It's not like Florida's punt team had injuries and nobody knew who was the backup. Inexcusable this late in the season. If Gator Nation, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but Gator Nation, if you think they're just going to roll it out next year because they've got DJ Lagway and the season ended good and Florida's just going to be sugar and spice, Billy Napier has got to get some help running football games and running his offense. You can't keep letting this kind of stuff happen. As Tulane had a 3rd and 8, it looks like they will be forced to punt, I believe, from midfield as the Florida pass rush got all over the backup quarterback, Ty Thompson, for Tulane. Just not a good look. And you may say, well, Terry, it's a bowl game. It's loosey-goosey. I get that. You're probably not cracking the whip in practice, but my God, you're 13 games in. You have to be able to line up and get the first punt of the game off without having to take a timeout. That is inexcusable. Inexcusable. We'll see if Napier figures out that he needs help with game management, and I think he certainly needs help with regard to coordinating the offense. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to. I think he has to. We will see. Florida gets the ball back with about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Gators leading Tulane 3-0. This will be Florida's 3rd offensive possession. And so far, mixed results. They're really, it looks like Florida is making an effort to get the ball to Aiden Mizell, a young receiver. And speaking of receivers, good news for the Gator football program. They have picked up what they think are 2 big-time wide receivers. Dallas Wilson looks like he will sign with Florida after getting out of his commitment with Oregon. He'll be coming in as a true freshman 5-star. And it looks like Florida got a hotshot receiver from UCLA, a guy that has 100-plus catches at the college level. He will come over as a portal move. So looks like Florida, the Gators have had good movement on their roster the last couple of days. Also coming up tomorrow, it'll get buried a little bit as college basketball tends to do this year. Florida, the Gators will play UNF. It looks like the Gators, barring a monumental upset, they have UNF and then they have Stetson before conference play. Florida should be at 13-0. The Gators should be 13-0 when they open up conference play early in January. Kentucky and Tennessee, the first 2 games that Florida will play. Gators just convert a second down. They have a new first down now about the 20-yard line after getting punted deep in their territory. Quick slant from Lagway to DK, and that will move the chains for the Gators. Again, leading 3-0, getting very late in the first quarter. Zach, let me know. I'm not sure. We'll have Brent Beard jumping on at 4:10-ish. I think we decided he'll jump on with us, so I'll need you to let me know when we have Brent, and we'll get deeper into this game, as obviously he is watching the ball game the Gators with another offensive snap where they bang out about 9 yards with Jaden Baugh. Florida should win this football game. Tulane, a team that should not be at Florida's level, and Tulane really their starting quarterback opted out. They've got a backup quarterback, albeit a 5-star coming out of high school in Ty Thompson, but they're deep into their roster as the Gators should win the ball game. They really should. This should be kind of a getaway game as the second half unfolds. We'll track that, but Florida should move to 8-5 on the year with this bowl win, and it'll be it really changes where we thought the Gator football team would be 3 games into the season. Miami, Texas A&M, they did not compete. The Gators got handled at home, and it looked like a very long season that was turned around at the end of the year. And Florida will be one of the bright spots, one of the teams to keep an eye on in the offseason and the early polls. I think Florida will pop up in next year. The preseason polls, Florida will pop up somewhere in that 20 range or so. I do believe we've got Brent Beard with us. Hello, Mr. Beard. Welcome to bowl season, my friend. How are you?
Well, I love it. It's great it is here. We waited a long time for this. A couple of comments on this game immediately. Number one, Terry, there are a few quarterbacks right now, although he just threw a pick, there are a few quarterbacks right now that have ball fakes as Lagway does.
Yeah.
He does a good job with that as probably anybody, frankly.
Yeah.
But, and look, I know we've harped on this the whole year, but here's the reality. They had Florida had 4th down. They were going to punt, but they had to call the timeout.
Unbelievable.
Because they only had 10 men on the field.
Unbelievable.
Look, I'm Terry, and I'm being honest about this. I'm sick and tired of seeing that.
Unbelievable.
At some point, get you a special teams coordinator who knows what he's doing and stop this garbage.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And you mentioned Lagway just throws a pick. Really an ill-advised throw. He got flushed up in the pocket, and there were 3 Tulane defenders around 1 Gator receiver. Not a great decision. But, we'll back up. So Tulane will take over. 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Tulane, and Brent, you're ahead of us a little bit on your feed, so be aware of that. But Florida leads 3-0. Tulane has great field position about the Florida 25. I think you hit it. The story of the game, the first thing I noticed, and I'm fine with this, Napier and the Gators don't seem to be really taking this game serious. They're playing a bunch of seniors.
Yeah.
They're starting, I'm just looking at the lines of scrimmage.
Sure.
And they're starting a lot of guys, including like Des Watts and guys that won't be back. And I get it. They're using this as a reward. But number 2, Brent, the Florida first offensive snap of the game, Napier runs a cutesy-wootsy. Lagway's out at wide receiver. Why do you do that?
Right.
The opening snap of the game, you run your star quarterback as a receiver. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't love the attitude that gives your team. And then Brent, you hit it. We are 13 games into Napier's 3rd season.
Yeah.
The first drive of the game ends up in a punt formation, game 13, and Florida, as we go to the end of the first quarter, Florida leads 3-0. Florida can't get the punt off because they don't have the right number of players. They take a timeout. Brent, that cannot happen.
No.
It's not like this was late in the game and you had 3 guys on your punt team get injured and the backups aren't sure. Brent, how does that happen again this late in the season?
Well, Terry, where's that silly mat that they had, and they talked about the whole year that you get your guys to stand on the mat, but before you go on the field and punt the ball. But see, the problem with this is I still don't. And look, I give them credit; they're going to win. They will have as much momentum as anybody in the nation, maybe except South Carolina going into the off season.
Sure.
But if something's wrong, if you don't understand that you need a special teams coordinator and an offensive coordinator to call plays in the worst way.
Absolutely, Brent. And I'm not burying Napier. I did bury him early in the year, said they've got to let him go. The only way I say they don't let him go is if, he figures out he's got to fire himself up. He's got to fire himself up the ladder and become the CEO.
Yeah.
If Gator Nation thinks that this is a finished product and all they need to do is get to April and have spring practice and get to August and just hit the ground running without any more changes, Gator Nation, you are fooling yourself.
You really are.
Billy Napier cannot manage a game by himself. That's not a criticism. Some guys can do it. Some guys can't. His game management is terrible. And his offensive coordinating is terrible. And I've said it. If Florida's first football game, what is it, August 30th against Long Island?
Yeah.
The first thing I have to see is Billy Napier needs to be on the sideline with a headset, but no play sheet in his hand.
Right. I agree.
If he's got a play sheet in his hand. I think Florida is just spinning their wheels. Billy Napier he's still got to make moves and the right moves this offseason coming up the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. Look, just because you have success calling plays at Louisiana does not mean that you're going to have success calling plays in the SEC. And at some point, you just need to look. You've got that old Clint Eastwood line. A man's got to know his weaknesses, and that's something they have got to do, and he's got to do. I tell you another thing. I wish he'd do, and I'm being facetious, but I'm not. I wish he'd shave. I think people are a little bit tired of this beard and no beard and half a beard. And it really does, it doesn't matter. Again, I like Napier.
I do too. I like him a lot.
And listen, they come in a few minutes ago, Terry. If Tulane wins today, they'll have 3 10-win seasons in a row. When in the world did you think Tulane would have 3 10-win seasons in a row?
And I tell you, Tulane, and we're veering off here, but Tulane has turned into a coaching cradle a little bit. I mean, they have. Willie Fritz came through there way back. Matt Brown was there. I'm missing a couple of other guys, but John Sumrall, he's a short timer. I mean, he's got the Kentucky job written all over him.
Oh, there's no doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
He's the ex-Kentucky coach, and no disregard to Tulane, but getting back to Napier, and I know you're kidding a little bit about the shaving. It's kind of the same thing I've said about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I mean this, but I don't, but I mean it. You know what? Lawrence's next step, and this doesn't matter, but it does. Isn't it time to cut your hair, Trevor?
Yes.
And get a grown-up haircut?
Right.
And will that make him play better? Probably not, but it's time to just mature.
Yeah.
Remember, and I always use the same as Tulane's lining up for what would be a tying field goal here early in the second quarter, and it looks like it was hooked. Tulane misses, and they do not take advantage of the Lagway interception. But Brent, I always use the Trevor hair. I correlate it with Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor, great football player, maybe a Hall of Famer, a great Gator, a great Jaguar. Fred Taylor, first-round pick, made a lot of money. He tells you, when he got in the NFL, he was still a bit of a knucklehead. Yeah. Right? He still had he still had a little Belgrade in him in a bad way.
Right.
And Fred, as he became a upperclassman at Florida, he put gold teeth in and had a grill. And well, you know what? I'm not picking at gold teeth and a grill, but you know what Fred Taylor did a couple years into his NFL career? He got the grill out and he decided to become a grown man. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Grown-ups with families probably you probably don't want to sport a grill. And did that change Fred Taylor? I don't know, but isn't that kind of the same thing with Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree with that very much. I tell you what, Terry, when you watch Florida run the ball, if they will do this next year, they can have they can have a real identity, could they not? Running the ball with that. And look, basically, this whole offensive line's coming back. And look, they're just running all over them right now with Jackson.
Yeah.
So,
and then a guy like Lagway is so lethal with the deep ball.
Yeah.
You punch him, and throw it over the top. That's a little bit in reverse of modern football. But that's what Napier wants to do. I don't mind his philosophy.
Yeah.
I just don't think he has any feel for the game.
No, I agree with that. No.
And I think at times you're still the head coach, man. Unless you've given away when your team's on defense, you've got to make a call. Are we going for it? Are we going to block punt?
Yeah.
He just needs game management help, I think.
No doubt.
Somebody to whisper in his ear and say, Coach, and Brent, I don't think Napier does a good job looking ahead. A play or two ahead. And the good ones kind of, don't they anticipate
no doubt.
a play or two ahead.
No doubt. There's no question that they do.
I think he gets caught up in the game's going fast. It's almost like a pitching coach.
Yeah.
A pitching coach is thinking 2 pitches ahead. Okay, maybe I want to snap off a curveball outside because I'm going to try and strike him out with a running fastball on his hands. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you one thing, Terry, they've got to do in the offseason is they've got to make some progress. I mean, people, after that Miami game and that A&M game, people were wondering, what in the world did they do for 9 months?
Yeah, what did they do? Yeah, I mean, that was the damnedest thing.
It was, wasn't it?
And Brent, I'm okay. I mean, I'm a Gator fan. I want to win every game. I'm okay with Miami opening up last year and beating Florida and Gainesville, but you got to compete. You had, like you just said, you had 9 months. Florida came out and didn't compete, and then 2 weeks later, Texas A&M comes in with a backup quarterback.
Yes,
never played, and you didn't compete 2 of your first 3 games with equal talent on the other sideline, right? You didn't compete, but you had 9 months. What you said it, Brent. What were you doing in those 9 months?
It wasn't developing toughness, and it wasn't communicating. Terry, I'm just wondering, and I think Austin Armstrong's going to be okay, and he probably went where he needs to go. Frankly, but I'm not sure they knew. They really didn't have a clue what they were doing early on, particularly defensively and communication. And if Ron Roberts stays, and I don't see any reason why he won't. Listen. They could be nasty next year on defense.
Well, Brent, and we'll go to our first break here, Brent. I want to keep you. I know you're good in the 4 o'clock hour. Maybe
not
too much the 5. But Brent, as we go to break, at some point quickly, and I get it, he may be handcuffed, wanting to bring in an offensive coordinator, and the guy said, "Hey, don't announce me yet. Let me get finished with it." Maybe he's coaching somewhere. I get that, but Brent, doesn't Billy Napier, for the good of the Florida football program, at some point pretty quickly after this game, and when I say quickly, I don't know if that means a week, a day, 4 days, 3 weeks, I don't know, but doesn't Billy Napier have to quickly get behind a microphone in the Gator room as he announces a press conference? And Billy Napier has to say, first and foremost, we're proud to announce that Ron Roberts is the full-time head defensive coordinator.
Yes.
We also would like to welcome Joe whoever, who's going to come in and help put more eyes and be our offensive coordinator, which will allow me, Billy Napier, to bump myself up to more of an overall head coach. Right? Isn't that the first thing he has to – and he needs to follow that with, we also have a spot or two on our staff. We are hiring Brent Beard as our full-time special teams coach. We think it's time to go ahead and make that move. And we are looking forward to April. We're going to spend the next couple of months in the weight room and conditioning, and we'll see you in April. Doesn't Billy Napier have to have that press conference?
Look, it it would make fans a lot easier to deal with if he's able to do. And I'm telling you, Terry, he needs to do it in the time span that you're talking about, instead of them asking the. Look, if he doesn't and he gets stubborn again and think he can do it all, they're going to be asking him the same things after the spring game, and that does not need to happen again.
Nope. And then if he does get, and football coaches are stubborn. If he gets stubborn and holds, then he has no margin of error. He better win a bunch of football games next year.
Yeah.
And I don't think in the current structure they're going to win a bunch of football games. When I say a bunch, 7's cute. They may get 8 today.
Yes.
If he's Billy Stubborn guy, he better go win 10, 11 games with his stubborn setup, or people are going to really, really ask questions. Brent, hang tight. Let's take our first break of the show. It's going to be a heavy Gator show because Florida's playing their bowl game right now. I want to talk about, what a nice roster addition for Florida. It looks like at the wide receiver position the last couple of days. That and a whole lot more. Brent Beer talking college ball. I'm Terry Norvelle. We're live from Bricks Jack's Beach. Gators lead 3-0 over Tulane. Back after this quick timeout.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
I laugh because I care, Brent Beard, but we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle Show on a fun Friday, man. Fun football Friday. Gators playing their bowl game. Big college game tonight, Indiana, Notre Dame. Brent Beard breaking it down. I'm Terry Norvelle. Brent, I laugh because I care, I guess. Florida is lined up for a field goal here in the second quarter, leading Tulane 3-0. Brent, they take another special teams timeout. They don't have enough guys on the field to kick the field goal. Brent, it's got to end. My God.
You just went through this in the first quarter. Look, they're supposed to got this hot shot from the NFL to help them be able to do this. And you've wasted 2 timeouts in a game just to get your special teams lined up. Terry, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with that.
There's something. I mean, right now, that's the story of the game. As Trace Smack, he bangs in his second field goal. Florida leads Tulane 6-0. Win or lose, okay. The story of the game is it just won't end. And Billy Napier, you've got to address this. Well, I mean, Brent Beard, people may say, well, it's a loosey-goosey bowl game. Okay, I'll give you that. It's a loosey-goosey bowl game. But, Brent, it's not like this is the first time it's happened. This has happened consistently over Napier's now 3 full years at Florida.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't a one-off because, well, Napier said, hey, guys, we're not going to go hard. We're going to have fun down. No, Brent, that's not an excuse that this is a loosey-goosey bowl week.
When you're doing that all the time and you're doing that every year you're coaching, something's wrong. That they have never cleaned that up.
No. Florida's got a good team. I think they're going to be pretty damn good next year.
Yeah.
They're not good enough to spot the best 5 teams in the country.
No.
All of this stuff. They're not good enough to do that.
No.
And you know what? Even if you're good enough, you're going to run into somebody. I don't care if you're Georgia, Alabama of the last 10 years. Hey, man, you run into guys that can punch and take a punch. You don't want to give them a free shot in the nose, man.
Look, That's exactly what they did to Georgia. Do you remember on the field goal when the snap was bad and the snap rose that Terry, not only was the snap bad, the snap rolled down the field, about 30 yards?
It really did. And that game was still in winnable game
mode. It was.
It really was. This is terrible. I mean, I don't care if Florida wins this game 30-0 or if Tulane comes back to win. The story of this is administratively and position coach Billy Napier, you've got work to do, my man. You've got work to do. He's got a lot of work to do in the offseason, and it has nothing to do with passing and running and blocking and I don't think. Right, Brent? Am I there?
No, I'm with you 100% with this. And look, this is also on these players. I mean, my stars, you basically have a day where you do special teams. How in the world do you not know when you need to line up and be on the field?
Yeah, and especially some of these guys are guys. That was Bryce Lovett that ran on. He's a backup offensive lineman. They think he's going to be a great player and may start next year. Good player. But, I mean, if you're a player, you're right. They're not all exonerated. If you're a player and you've been bitching and moaning, I want to play more. I want to play. Okay, well, you also have to carry out your assignment and have some mental smarts about it. But man, this is not good. This is not good where you're at right now. Coming off and keep in mind, Florida didn't exactly play a smooth game in Tallahassee.
No, they really didn't.
Right?
No, I mean, I give them all kinds of credit for what they've done. But, Terry, the reality is you're not going to be where you need to be as a football program until you start paying attention to the details.
Yes.
And it's obvious they're not doing that.
And Brent, I'll sum up what I think we've talked about for about 20 minutes here, 30 minutes. We'll obviously, and this is a basic statement, but about your details, what you just said, about cleaning up your game. Let me throw this out, and it's a basic statement. Brent Beard, particularly in the SEC, but at big-time college football, it's hard enough to beat the opponent.
Yeah, sure it is.
Beating the
Absolutely.
opponent is hard enough. If you've got to win 1.5 games because you have to also beat your own self, dude, it's hard enough to beat teams. Tulane's a good team.
Yeah, they really are.
This isn't Long Island.
No.
I mean, it's hard enough to get SEC wins, much less when you have to beat the opponent and yourself. Man, I'm worked up, Brent. This is a bad showing right now.
Yeah. It's just inexcusable that you're in your bowl game and you're still doing things that you did at the beginning of the year. But the problem is, Terry, you're still doing things that you did your first year you were at the school.
Yes. And you know what? Napier's wrapping up his 3rd year at Florida. He had 4 years at Louisiana. He's almost a decade in to being a Division I football coach. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for him doing this wanky, no special teams, 2 offensive line guys, not getting he's got to have spent an off season traveling going, guys, we have trouble with personnel on the field.
Yes.
What do you guys do?
Right. Yeah.
Coach Saban, what do you? Hey, Coach. Coaches share stuff. It's a fraternity.
Yeah. But Terry, it's cost them. I think it cost them the Georgia game.
It might have.
You know good and well. Last year, it cost them the Arkansas game, right?
Certainly.
In that absolute debacle, where they've got about 30 men on the field at the same time, that they couldn't get them off and on, and the kick that they're penalized 5 yards.
Yeah.
And look, the kick they missed, and if he's 5 yards closer, he hits a kick, the ball game's over.
He probably does. And Brent, to make that Arkansas debacle worse, that was a home game.
It was.
It was. And the ball was sort of near midfield, near your sideline. I mean, it wasn't like you were in Fayetteville and there were 80,000 hogs screaming and you couldn't communicate. That was a home game, for God's sakes.
Well, Terry, and they're asking him about the play, and then he said the thing that you cannot say is, well, we have a particular player, not coach, who gives out the signal when the special teams need to go on the field. What in the world is that about?
I remember when he said that, and I was going, you know how sometimes you see or you hear another human being do something or say something, and you go, ooh, I feel, that's not going to be good. When he said that, you were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the most absurd things I believe I've ever heard.
I'm going to say it again, man, and I've said it for a couple of years. During the offseason, the Florida football program, the one individual involved in the entire football program that I think during the offseason has to pick up their game is Billy Napier.
Yeah. Well,
not
look.
the right guard, not the center, not the cornerback.
Right.
Billy Napier's got to pick up his game more than anybody associated. And I don't know if he is, or he's capable, or is he not too stubborn to do it?
Look, I tell you what he needs to do is he needs to go up to Tuscaloosa and sit down with Nick Saban, who is his mentor, and say, Coach, I've sent you all this film. Tell me what we can improve on. And see, I guarantee you that'd be one of the first things Saban would find.
And absolutely. Can you imagine Nick Saban going through the Florida tape all season, and then he gives you a report? Number one, that would be invaluable.
Yeah.
How much you pay for that. But Brent, that happens. The coaching and fans may not know that happens. Coaches are tight knit, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And now, especially now with Saban out of the game. I mean, that happens. And, and I don't know. Maybe he's done it before. If he's done it during the offseason previously, then he's either gone to the wrong people or he hasn't implemented. Because it's terrible to watch where he's at in his career and how sloppy the game administration is run at Florida.
Well, he's at a crossroads in his career. Now he saved his job this year, but I'm telling you, Gator fans like I know Gator fans, I'm just telling you, Terry, if they have another start like they did last year, they will be back on. It won't take much for them to be back on his back very quickly.
Yeah. Florida 2nd and 7. A little bit of a drive mounting. They lead Tulane 6-0 as the Gators are looking to increase that. Nice pass completed to Livingston.
It was.
I will say this. Florida, and I'm watching and broadcasting here, Florida is getting a lot of players that were bit players that will be bigger players. A lot of guys are getting playing time today. There's going to be a lot of snaps. Mizell's made a few catches early. Livingston, the tight end. I've seen a lot of different linemen on both sides. So they're going to get a lot of snaps for some new guys that could use snaps today in the bowl game.
Yeah, and they've got Damian George coming back, and I'm not sure that's a real plus for them. Right. They can do better than Damian George. Look, Damian George wasn't any good in Alabama.
Yeah.
And he really hadn't done much at Florida for that matter either. But they still have got good transfer portal kids that's coming in. They had a top 10 class in recruiting. I mean, I'm just, even in spite of all this stuff we've been talking about, they have got as much momentum along with South Carolina after this game as anybody does in the SEC.
He needs to finish it off with the right coaching hires and staff movement and assignments. Brent, I laugh here. We'll take a break in a moment, but I'm not positive. I think Florida might have just took their third time out of the first half on offense. They couldn't get a snap off.
Yeah.
And it looked like Napier we've seen for 3 years. He's kind of got a little exacerbated. It looks like they just took their third time out.
I think that's why he was upset on the sideline.
I think so. Brent, stay with us. We're not totally bashing Napier, but they're on right now. I do want to talk about his offense.
Yeah.
I don't mind his offense when we come back, Brent, but there's one thing I would like to see him tweak a little bit. And I don't mind his offense. It's a little bit 1980s.
It is.
Napier's offense is in reverse of modern offense.
Yeah.
But I think you can win with it. But I'll tell you what, one thing I would tweak on the other side. He's Brent Beard. I'm Terry Norvelle, talking a lot of college football and a lot of Gator football. We'll try and touch on the Jaguars a little bit. I think they're going to win Sunday. I'll get Brent's opinion on that as well as they take on the Raiders. Cruising through hour number 1 on a fun football Friday. And you know where we're at. The Young and Norvelle Show set up live our Friday home. Bricks, Jack's Beach.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Back we are, Brent Beard, Terry Norvelle, coming to you live from Rick's Jack's Beach, our Friday home. Fun Football Friday, and Florida just and DJ Lagway with a second turnover. Lagway has thrown his second interception of the game. This was an end zone interception. Florida had methodically moved down the field, Brent, and again, Lagway, who, remember this now, you and I have said this for weeks, DJ Lagway is not a finished product.
No.
He's still green behind the ears. He's thrown 2 very ill-advised passes, including that one in the end zone. That took points. You got to believe at least 3 points away. That was a 3rd and goal.
Oh, yeah.
Lagway throws his second INT. And again, Brent, not to bury Lagway, he's going to be a star, but he hasn't played that much football. He's a work in progress.
Listen, he threw in triple coverage. What in the world? He got a little bit of pressure. Terry, he'd done better if he'd have taken the ball and ran.
Just ran it. He ran the play before. Yeah, he probably could have gotten the end zone.
He probably could have.
I want to get back to the and again, I don't want to bash Florida. I want to get back to Napier's philosophy on offense, and you know, he does it in reverse. He's a bit old school. He runs, and then likes to throw over the top. Whereas most offenses now are pass again, and run underneath the pass, right?
Yeah.
So he does. I'm fine with that. I will say this. One thing I think he needs to get away with playing in the SEC, Florida has too many pass plays, in my opinion, Brent Beard, that are slow developing, and the quarterback is designed it's back to the line of scrimmage, ball faking stuff. And I don't mind that play twice a game, but he likes to run that 7, 8, 9 times. I don't know if you can get away with your quarterback slow developing with your back to the line of scrimmage very
Right.
often in the SEC.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Terry, to me, the worst game calling this year he's had was the Tennessee game.
Sure.
They should have won that game.
Yeah.
They're 4th and 1, and he calls some silly reverse. They're on the 6-inch line. And calls Graham Mertz when you got a 200-pound running back or 220-pound running back who should have carried the ball. See, those are and we're not taking away all the good things here, but those are things that they've got to stop and they've got to clean up.
Yeah.
And obviously Tulane called the timeout because Florida doesn't have any more.
Exactly. Hey, timeout on the field. The Florida Tulane game. Well, it's got to be Tulane because the Gators.
Yeah.
They don't have any more. Brent Beard, real quick. The 4 games coming up in round 1 of the college football playoff tonight in South Bend. Temperature is supposed to be about 29 tonight at kickoff, getting down to about 26. So it's going to be cold. Indiana shouldn't be affected. State College tomorrow, noon kickoff, 27. It'll stay right around there most of the day in State College. Austin tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Very pleasant, 56 kickoff. Stay in the 50s, it looks like, during the day. Again, that's a 4 o'clock. And then Columbus is the cold one. Tomorrow, Tennessee is going to have to fight through 25 at kickoff down into the low 20s. It's going to be interesting to see. We don't have a bunch of hardcore Southern teams, but Tennessee going to Columbus. What are your thoughts? 4 fun games tomorrow, or 3 tomorrow, 1 tonight. What are your thoughts on round 1?
Well, it's certainly exciting, but my Lord, we've been waiting 20 and 30 years for this. And our whole time this week's taken up with the portal. That's got to change, and it's got to change next year. I like Tennessee in that game. They can run the ball, and they play good defense, and those travel wherever you go. And listen, Terry, people need to understand this, and we probably need to put this on Facebook tonight, is the first 2 games tomorrow are on TNT. They're not on ESPN. They're on TNT. And people need to know that the Tennessee-Ohio State game, I believe, is on ABC, ESPN. But that's the issue for tomorrow.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And listen, Terry, I don't know if and this is on Twitter, so everybody knows about it. Tony Kornheiser and Wilbon, they're talking. Kornheiser said, they should have played all the playoff games today on Friday instead of playing them tomorrow and Saturday. I thought, what? Listen, what in the world are you talking about? Listen, here's a guy in Kornheiser. I respect Tony in some areas. Tony is a thimble full of knowledge with college football. He doesn't know anything in the world about college football. Why in the world would you make a dumb statement like that?
Did he give anything to back that up?
It was. I think it was something NFL related. There are 2 NFL games tomorrow, and what I think it was. I think it basically was. Well, the college football doesn't need to. They need to be careful about that. Oh, come on! They play on Saturday. That's the NFL's problem. If they're trying to get it on Saturday. I thought those were one of the most ridiculous things I've heard in a while.
Well, Brent, I couldn't agree with you much more, and I'm hearing this through you. But if he made the statement that all 4 games should have been on Friday today to start this, that is an ignorant statement.
It really is.
That makes no sense. And I agree. I think those guys on national shows, I think they get put in bad spots. the national shows and a lot of your radio shows, they feel like they have to be experts on everything.
Yeah, right.
You pull yourself out in an area that you're not of expert. I think you can expose yourself, and that's a classic example.
Well, I tell you this, Terry. I quit listening to Kornheiser on college football back in the 90s. Now he actually said this on the air. Tennessee was playing Florida State, and Kornheiser said, it was the biggest thing going on in the nation that night. He says, I got bored at halftime, and I went to bed.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, that's terrible.
Now, look, if you're going to do that, don't tell people that's what you did, because if you're going to have that job, whether you like it or not, you need to be aware of what's going on with that game.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? I'll give you a little inside the business here on our little show here. And Brent, I say ours because you're a big part of our show, and I think Pat would agree. Patrick Young would agree. I've always had the philosophy on shows, particularly once I got in a position to control my own show. When I work for somebody, I'll do what they tell me to do. You work for somebody. But with regard to controlling my own show, I've always subscribed to the theory, do the majority of your show what you know.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a reason our show leans heavy college sports and college football.
Right.
Now, do we talk? And when I'm out and about and somebody says, what do you do for a living? I say, well, I'm in the sports broadcasting business. I'll leave it at that. If they go deeper, I say, well, I own a sports show and it's a streaming show, blah, blah, blah. I go, well, it's heavy college. Certainly we cover the stories of the day, and certainly we cover the Jaguars, but I subscribe you should do what you do. And Brent, I don't think you and I need to get into a Jaguar debate deep with somebody that covers the Jaguars. I think they should be doing the talking.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
Know about the Jaguars? Yes, you know about the Jaguars. Do I cover them? Do I have good thoughts? Do I have hopefully thoughts that make you think? Yes. But I'm not going to ever try and act like I'm a wheelhouse Jaguar guy. There's 16 other shows in town that'll give you that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what Kornheiser did if he made those comments. And I think guys get stuck because Kornheiser may have somebody above him that maps out that show and says, you have to talk about the Giants and the Lakers and the Raiders and the Yankees and the Gators. I just don't think you're great at trying to get – that was a dumb statement if he made that.
It was. Yes. Yeah. It's all – it's all over Twitter. But that's one of the dumbest things I've heard in quite some time. But again, you hit it because he and Wilbon do a good job in a lot of things. But look, people, the reality is that's why I quit years ago watching the show. They had no clue what they were talking about in college football.
But if you bring your Tesla. No, that's bad because they don't have a regular. Okay. If you bring your brand new hotshot Corvette to my auto, no, you bring your Volkswagen. That's a specialty, right? Specialty car.
Yeah.
You bring your Volkswagen to Terry's Automotive. I can do some of the basic stuff, but if it's something in depth, you probably need to go to a Volkswagen specialist.
Yeah.
I can change your oil and fix your carburetor a little bit here and there, but if you really need the inner workings, right? That's kind of my philosophy with this show, and I think it should be also. Too many sports shows think their guys are experts across the board, and I think that's wrong.
Right.
I think that's terribly wrong.
Yeah.
My humble opinion. Brent, we're wrapping up hour number one. I think you have to go. Late in the first half, Tulane on a bit of a drive at midfield, trailing Florida 6-0. We may take it a few minutes late, Brent.
Yeah, sure.
This has not been a good first half for the Florida football program.
No, they've gotten sloppy. And by the way, Terry, I can go another segment if that will help.
Okay, good.
But Terry, what Lagway is throwing the ball sideways and every way, which way but loose right now. And they're having trouble catching the ball. They need to get in at halftime. Terry, what's happening is and you remember this from baseball days, he's not setting his feet. And when you don't set your feet and you're throwing almost all on the run, it doesn't work all the time.
Yeah, a couple things before we break and kick off hour number 2. Brent will stay one more. We can stay with us. Well, I think you're right. It's commendable. They're trying to get a lot of young guys that haven't played a lot of playing time because they're going to lean on some of these guys next year. It's commendable, but it's gotten them awfully loose. There's not a whole lot of continuity. And I do agree that of all the players I've seen at the college level, Lagway has made a bunch of Pat Mahomes type plays.
Yes.
I'm not so sure he's not leaning on that too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Go to that sideways, look away, and he's thrown a couple bad passes that look like I'm going to make myself look like Mahomes. He's still a work in progress. He hasn't played a lot of football, but yeah, this has not been a great half of football for Florida. And if you're Tulane, you're loving it. You just killed the first half.
Well, but see, here's the thing, Terry. If they, if he doesn't throw the interception, it's 9-0, and Tulane's got their backup quarterback in there because their starter went to the portal. And I mean, if you kick 6 field goals, as long as you win the game of that defense, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Florida looks like Florida's football program is not at the point where they can just laugh their way through a bowl game. They need this win.
No, absolutely not.
They need this win, and they need Lagway to play better in the second half going into spring ball. All right, Brent, hang tight. One more segment. We'll let you hang around with us and maybe help us with our picks, our show picks. We've got 6 games, 3 NFL, 3 college to discuss. Florida in a bit of a dogfight here. 6-0 late in the first half. Brent Beer, Terry Norvelle, and you on the other side. The Young and Norvelle Show coming back live from Rick's Jack's Beach.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
Back on a Bricks Jacks Beach Friday. Terry Norvelle sitting right in a crowded Bricks Jacks Beach location. You can hear it. Big Gators crowd in here. And they're grumbling a little bit. Not the best performance for Florida football. Halftime in Tampa. The Gators do lead 6-0, but it has been a mess. Brent Beard, one more segment with us. And Brent, man, I mean, I think we're just doing our job. I mean, it may appear that we're bashing Florida football, Brent, but that was an ugly first half. And frankly, Brent, part of me says, okay, Florida leads 6-0. Why not? And they've shown that they can run the ball down Tulane's throat. Why not come out in the second half and just run the ball down their throat, score a couple touchdowns, get out of here with a win? But here's my problem with that. I don't care what you say, Lagley just played a terrible half of football. You've got a starting quarterback that I think you need to give him a good taste in his mouth in the second half, so you need to throw it a little bit. But to salt this game away, you could probably go power and run it. Brent, Lagley needs to throw some quality passes, I think. Here
Yeah, he really does. As we said in the last segment, what's not going on is he is not setting his feet and really being able to throw through his body as you normally would, and that's caused him some problem. I think you made a good point. He's trying to be Patrick Mahomes, like everybody is right now. And look, when you're accurate throwing the ball, you can get by with stuff like that. But right now, he is not. Let me tell you one thing that's amusing. During the break, I went through Twitter, and there were several comments about they need a special teams coordinator and they need an offensive coordinator. One of the funniest things I've seen, a lot of these that they've got what looks like 50 staffers on the sidelines, all dressed in black, and they're trying to get one guy on the field, and he just pushes one of the staffers out of the way and knocks the guy down. Terry, again, and I know we're harping on this stuff, but the reality of it is they've got to clean some of this up when it comes to what they've got going on the sidelines.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a blanket analogy, and you're going to jump in, Brent, as you do, and put some levity on this. Not just in football or sports, but really in any tried and true, I'll just say industry. Any industry out there that's been around well over 150 years, there are going to be some tried and true, I think, truths to the industry, right?
Yes.
I mean, Billy Napier, he has a unique structure of a coaching staff and coaching assignments. I think we would all agree. 2 linemen, 2 offensive line coaches, no traditional special teams coach. He's his own offensive coordinator. Well, you know what? College football is well over 150 years old. If Billy Napier is going to do something totally against the grain, then his way better work big time, or you're going to look like a dumbass.
Yeah, right.
And if you're going to do it against the grain, you're against the grain way. But Steve Spurrier went against the grain calling ball plays in the SEC. He was pass first and run second. That was against the grain of the SEC for 100 years. Well, you know what? If Spurrier got there and his pass first, run second, failed miserably, he'd be laughed at. It better work big time. And Napier's philosophy against the grain of 160 years of football at the college level, Brent, it's not working. So he looks like a bit of an oaf right now.
No. Well, in the first half, Lagway was 14 of 22 for 190 and 2 picks. Ty Thompson was 3 of 12 for 28.
Ugly.
And Florida outgained Tulane 269 to 62. But again, the two turnovers kill you every time. When you've got that discrepancy in yardage, they ought to be 14 or 17 points ahead right now. Instead, they are not. They've got to play a lot better fundamental football here in the second half.
This game easily gets you beat against Kentucky or modern Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt beats you in this game. Hell,
they do.
Year 2, Jeff Levy, Mississippi State beats you in this game.
Yeah.
Right. Brent, I don't think this is good at all. I mean, Lagway needs to have some confidence throwing the ball in the second half. But, I mean, do you have confidence in him right now? I mean,
no.
He's got to be a little shaken, right? But I'm with you. Somebody needs to say, hey, Lagway, you got to quit watching Patrick Mahomes. That's a neat play here and there, but
yeah.
He's a special player. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can, but you can't do it. But you can't try that on every play.
No.
That's just not. You've got, but at some point they've got to get him set, and they've got to get him ready to do basic pass plays, and that means you've got to set your feet. You've got to look off the defender, and you've got to be accurate. That's very important for him right now.
Not that this matters, but this just hit me. I don't know if and keep in mind, I can't hear the TV broadcast here on the air. Have they said anything? I just noticed Montrell Johnson hasn't played at all. Was he a quiet opt-out maybe? And, you don't have to announce every opt-out, but he got healthy finally, and he had a great game against Florida State. I haven't seen Montrell Johnson at all.
I haven't either. I agree with that. You would think I've seen Jackson a lot. Obviously, he's done fine. But no. And I still will say, Terry, if Montrell Johnson is healthy the whole season, I think they win. I think they win at least one more game.
Maybe. Now, we've bashed Florida because it's been a sloppy, ugly half. Some of the positives I've seen, they've gotten a lot of players on the field.
Yeah.
A lot of guys that are going to be playing much more meaningful minutes next year. A lot of guys. I've seen a lot of receivers. Mizell's made a couple catches. It looked like Abrams got in there.
Right.
And Livingston at tight end. They've got a lot of players that have played a lot of football. These snaps are invaluable, but when you get ugly, sloppy snaps, I think sometimes that can work against you. This half, I think, worked against the development of DJ Lagway. He's had a bad half of football.
Yeah, he really did. And they're also playing that they played Des Watson today more than I think they have the whole year.
And I think and he started, it looked like.
Yeah.
And I get it. They're treating this bowl game as a bit of a reward.
Of course they are.
But if you're going to give Des Watson, because he's done, right? I think this is last year in Florida. He's been a great team player. If you're going to give him a bunch of final game snaps, I don't think it matters why start him? Play him later in the game. Get the game under control.
Yes.
Right? before you absolutely dump all these never played before guys or little play. I don't know. I don't know. I think this has been a negative way in the first half to end this season.
Yeah, well, they're just fortunate right now. The Tulane has this backup quarterback and this Thompson kid. Otherwise they might be in trouble. But they've got to play more conservative football, or let me just say, not conservative. They've got to play better fundamental football in the second half.
Yeah,
and if they'll keep him from making mistakes, I think they'll end up being okay. But look, I'm with you that before it's over, Terry, they need to win this game by about 14 points or more. People will feel better about them at the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, I think Florida gets a bit of a break next year in that the Miami game is not the leadoff game.
True.
True. Because right now, if this DJ Lagway is the guy that takes the snaps game one, I'm glad it's going to be against Long Island because it looks like he may win a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, he
could. And Brent, you and I have talked the second half of the year. He's not a finished product.
No.
He has not played a lot of football. And he needs a lot of snaps and he needs some decision making in game. I don't know if that guy right now is ready to go beat a big time opening game. Thank God they're playing Long Island.
No, I would agree. I don't think he is either. But I mean, it favors them, particularly have that Tennessee game at home. That's a game they really need to win. I know we got the whole summer to deal with things like that, but and the other thing they need to do, they need to come out in the second half and not have any special teams mistakes too. That'd be a breath of fresh air.
I'll say another thing about Florida, positive from the first half on the defensive side, and I know they're playing a backup quarterback, but you can tell when the ball snaps. Florida's got a lot of young guys running around on defense and a lot of guys that are young that have started to emerge in the back half. They've got a lot of athletes running around on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and most of these guys are coming back. They've got a lot of athleticism on that defensive side of the ball. Another concern, though, is Billy Napier went out 2 years ago and hired Austin Armstrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy wasn't ready for the job.
No,
That's
he wasn't.
Too, when Billy, not only you don't just have to bring in you got to bring in a quality offensive coordinator.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah. And that's what he needs to do in special teams too. You got this guy from the NFL. He may have had a good reputation, but they've done virtually nothing on special teams this year and made way too many glaring mistakes. So you've got it. That has to be two quality hires. Absolutely.
And this game management stuff. I mean, this is high school. 10 games in, they've ironed that out in high school, haven't they? They're like, Joe, if you're hurt, you have to let Steve know he's your backup. Or Steve, if Joe's hurt on punt or punt return or punt team, you've got. I mean, you can't have this happen this late in the year. The year's over, and they have literally not gotten one bit better. 13 practices into this thing in terms of personnel and game management and timeouts and clock management. It's ungodly at that level what the people are making in salary that they haven't gotten it any better.
Yeah. And I wonder if they'll ask him at the end of the game about these things. But the problem is he's been way too stubborn about it and just will not make the changes that he needs to be able to do. And that is simply something that it cannot continue.
Brent, as we let you go, and we appreciate your time here today on a Friday, give us a thumbnail. What do you think happens tonight in South Bend? Indiana coming across the state, taking on Notre Dame. Neither team has played a daunting schedule.
No.
Weather should equal out, I think. Notre Dame's at home. Notre Dame is Notre Dame. What happens tonight, you think, in South Bend?
I tell you one thing, a lot of this, Notre Dame can run the ball.
Yeah.
Now, to Indiana's credit, they've only allowed 2.5 yards per carry, and that helps. But Riley Leonard, this Love kid, has almost got 1,000 yards. The Price kid's got 651. How's Curtis Rourke, the Indiana quarterback, going to be able to do? And that Notre Dame secondary is really good.
Yeah.
And Indiana needs to be able to run the ball a little bit with this too. I mean, I think Notre Dame wins, but I can tell you this: if Indiana does, there won't be a lot of crying down here in the Southeast United States.
I don't know, Brett. As we go, you may not know the answer. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't know. These first 4 games that are on campus sites, right? Home teams are on campus, which I love. To your knowledge, is the ticket distribution a little more balanced, or is it still kind of a typical, 80% home crowd, 10%? Because I'm hearing Tennessee may have a ton of people.
Yeah, they are. We think alike as usual, and the reality for that is just what you said. Tennessee has brought up a tremendous amount of tickets for this game, and I'm. And Texas would dominate in their game with it being a home game.
Sure.
Penn State will too.
Yes.
Also, listen, Terry, I can't help but wonder if Notre Dame was playing Alabama tonight or Penn State was playing Alabama tomorrow. What do you think the TV ratings would be for that?
It would be huge. And Brett, I'm going to go ahead and I mean this in a sincere, nice, loving way, and it's about me and you. You and I now, we're basically college football historians.
Yeah.
And with that as a backdrop, tomorrow night, in love them or hate them, the Horseshoe is a hallowed ground of college football. Ohio State is a blue blood brand. It's going to be really neat to see the Tennessee Volunteers and their band and the orange. It's going to be neat to see Tennessee going into that hallowed ground and hearing Rocky Top, right? Isn't it going to be kind of neat to see that tomorrow night?
Well, it will. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But, Terry, my question again to you that we've tossed around all week long, if Tennessee beats them tomorrow, is Ryan Day the coach at Ohio State a week from today?
It is hard to believe, but he may be fighting with trustees to get another year. Brent, good stuff. Enjoy tonight, the second half of the Gator game, tonight's big playoff game. And buddy, I know you're gonna love you some football tomorrow. Have a good weekend and watch it.
Well, let me tell you again, you and I have waited 30 years basically to see what we're going to see this weekend.
A legitimate playoff, not 4 teams and 2 games.
That's right. Yeah, and again in 2 years, it's going to be more than that. But we will enjoy tonight, brother, and we'll talk about it next week.
Be safe. We'll talk next week. See you, buddy.
Take care.
We'll take a break. Come back. Florida ready to kick off the second half. They lead Tulane by only 6-0. Sloppy offensive half by the Gators. We'll come back. Start landing the show. We'll get with Zach Rothrock. We have to make our show picks as we're coming down the home stretch trying to win show versus show. We'll do that and a lot more on the other side. The Young and Norvelle show continues live from a rocking Bricks Jack's Beach. Hang with us, folks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All right, final half hour here on a Friday. The Young and Norvelle Show coming to you, of course, from our Friday home. We've been here a long, long time. We thank the good folks at Rick's Jack's Beach. They treat us wonderful, and it's been a fun day here. We've got the Gator game going on. They just kicked off the second half. Florida kicked off to Tulane. Gators lead 6-0. Great defensive performance against a depleted Tulane offense, but just Florida just a sloppy overall performance in the first half, particularly on offense. As we welcome Zach Rothrock. Zach, we got to get our picks in real quick. Are you ready to bang out our show picks here? We got 6 games. You ready?
Yeah, why not?
How you doing, man?
I am fantastic. I'm ready for college football play. I'm ready for the as dubbed by Terry Norvelle, the greatest weekend in football history.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, the second round of the playoffs is not on the weekend. It'll be like Tuesday, Wednesday, because it's New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But it'll be trumped every year probably. But seriously, I mean, you can't argue what my statement, right? Tomorrow's got to be this has got to be the greatest football weekend. We've never had multiple college elimination games along with a full slate of NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be a ride.
Yeah.
So which ones are we picking?
Are you ready? We've got our show picks, us against the other shows on Action Sports Jacks, our network. Mm-hmm. We got multiple shows, of course. Brent and Austin are the main show. SMU. So we'll do the 3 games for tomorrow. Okay. Right. SMU is at Penn State. Penn State at home. That's a noon kick, so it's not a night game in State College. It's a noon. It'll be a daytime whiteout. Penn State minus 8.5. So SMU is getting over a touchdown. What are you leaning? What do you think we should think about this game? Penn State at home, the traditional big bad Penn State. SMU on offense. What are your thoughts?
Well, my initial thought is that 8.5 is a lot of points.
It is.
That's the initial thought. I'm not super impressed by either team. I think it'll be a fairly close game. So yeah, I'll lean towards SMU just because 8.5 is a lot.
All right, I'm with you. Let's ride it, man. Let's take. I think Penn State wins the game, but are they going to win by over 8.5? Oh, let's take SMU. We're leading 8.5 to nothing right now. All right, game number 2 that we have to pick. Clemson. They kind of backdoored their way in, but they're in. That's all that matters. All you got to do is get into the tournament. Clemson is at Austin taking on Texas. That's what is that? That's the midday game, right? That's the 4 o'clock game. And Texas is a 12-point favorite. Clemson is getting 12 points. They did back in. What are your thoughts there with Clemson?
12 is a lot, but I am a Clemson hater. I think Texas
Take that out. I don't care about that.
I think Texas is a premier program in the country. They've really only lost to Georgia. So, yeah, I think they cover.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go ahead and take Texas. I know we're giving away 12 points. Woo.
I just felt the need to mention it because I can't hide the fact that I am a hater. So I just had to go ahead and lay that out
fine.
there, Yeah,
that's fine. I'll tell you, here's the big concern. The first touchdown that gets scored tomorrow between Clemson and Texas needs to be Texas. We don't need Clemson scoring the first, right? And going up.
Yeah, then we're down 19-0 all of a sudden.
Yeah, then we're down 19-0.
We don't want that.
But I'm with you. Let's go ahead and take Texas at home. And don't you think Texas might just be really pissed off?
I think, I think they're going to look
away, didn't they?
They're going to look for opportunities to run the score up, I think, potentially.
And Texas probably should have been ahead of Georgia in the first half by 17 points. They lost the game in the first half. They had 260 yards of offense and just couldn't get in the end zone. Now, tip of the hat to Georgia, red zone defense. All right, the night game, I think it's going to really be a neat visual. You've got the Tennessee Volunteers on the road at night, Columbus, Ohio, one of the cathedrals of college football. Tennessee, Rocky Top, the orange rolls in. Ohio State is giving up just over a touchdown. Tennessee gets 7.5. Zach, I'll let you give a first crack. What do you think happens? What do you think happens there?
Well, Michigan plays that big, like that rough, tough, like run the ball type of, like kind of like an SEC type of football. Yeah. They went into Ohio State and won as I think 23-point underdog. So yeah, I think I like Tennessee to win outright. You're going to give me, what are you giving me? You're giving me 8 points. What did you say it was?
7.5.
So yeah, 7.5 points. Yeah, I definitely like them with 7.5.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm not so sure Tennessee wins. But damn, they got 7.5 points.
I think it's going to come down to what version of Nico Amaliviana. Yeah, it's going to come down to what version of him we get. If we get like the elite version, the accurate version, I think they definitely have a chance to win.
I'm with you. And you know what? Tomorrow night, I know it's a tough venue and it's the biggest game. It's the biggest game of the year for Tennessee. It's a huge game. But Nico needs to take that next step. I've been disappointed in Nico. I don't think he's gotten that much better. I know a lot of my Tennessee friends, they thought by midseason he was going to be just he struggled, man. He hasn't gotten a lot better. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he doesn't appear to have taken a significant step forward, but I mean, he's still when he's on, he's still good, and I think they'll be ready. And I don't think Ohio State's just not that. I don't think they're a national championship team this year.
They need Tennessee needs Sampson to have a big game too. They need to run that ball with Sampson.
Yeah, for sure. You want to control the clock, and it's going to be cold, so you want to be prepared for that.
I'm with you, but let's take Tennessee and all those points. NFL, the Texans at Kansas City because the NFL rules say Kansas City never plays a road game. You know that, right?
They appear to not play many.
They never play a road game. Houston at Kansas City. It appears Mahomes is going to play. I can't understand this. I would at least hold him out this one game. They've got a 13-1 record. They've got a couple 2 or 3 win games ahead. I can't believe they're going to play him. But Kansas City at home, giving up 3.5. Where do we go?
Ooh, you know what? I'm going with the Chiefs. Normally, I would take the Texans in this, honestly, because the Chiefs hardly ever win by more than a field goal. But I want to take the Chiefs because I just think it sets up to be one of those, everyone all week, you don't even expect Mahomes to play. He hasn't been playing good all year. This is going to be the 4 or 5 touchdown Patrick Mahomes game. He's just going to come out and just light it up for no reason.
I hear you. I love all those things that you just said. I'm going to overrule you. Let's take. Well, I'm going to say we take the Texans. All right, Eagles playing really good football. Redskins, I call them. I call them the Redskins. You call them the Commanders. Philadelphia at Washington. Philly's on the road giving away 3.5 points. Where do we go?
I'm going with the Eagles again.
Good, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, they're playing at a pretty elite level. They see the 1 seed is within reach. So, yeah, they're going to look to 3.5. I think they win handily.
All right, we'll go with the Eagles, giving away points. And then finally, the game in Vegas. Man.
Oh, gosh.
Vegas looks terrible. Man,
they do.
The Giants look terrible. They're both fighting it out now for the 1 pick, it looks like.
Yeah, they are.
To me, gosh darn, I think this is almost the Jaguars are going to win this game, aren't they?
I don't see why they shouldn't. It feels like they should. Why not? What's the spread? What are we? I assume.
How about this? The one we have, the Jaguars of all teams are favored. They're giving away 1.5. The Jags.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the Jaguars. Why not? We're the local team. Let's, why go against them? Mac Jones has been playing well.
Yeah, I think they're winning this game. So we'll go Texans, Eagles, Jags in the.
And Brian Thomas has been playing real well.
Yeah, he's best player on the team. How sad is that? Rookie,
sure.
best player on the team. So that's what we got. We're going to take those guys. And I'll tell you, man, my biggest concern with the way – I think the Jaguars might win 2 games of the last 3. I mean, it's not out of the realm. They could win all 3. I mean, they've got the Colts and Anthony Richardson, for God's sakes, and Tennessee after this. I'm confident they're going to win 2 out of 3. I don't know if that's going to really help their franchise. I'll tell you the one thing that's scaring me, though, I don't think it's going to happen. The Giants and the Raiders are so bad. I think they're going to lose out.
Mm-hmm.
But what if they win a couple, both of those, and the Titans tank all the way? Wouldn't it be a nightmare for the Jags to have the Titans get the first pick? It would just
that would be tough. That would almost certainly go with Shedeur Sanders if they had the number 1 pick. That would get a quarterback. So that would be tough. But I mean, if you're the Jaguars, though, I think if I'm the Jaguars, I've had the number 1 overall pick enough. I want to win a couple of damn games heading into the off season.
I don't, because the big difference is they've had the number 1 pick 2 of the last 3 years, and they used it 1 for 1. I think they needed to use it 3 for 1 to go get 2 players, 3 total players. That's what I think.
Yeah.
By the way, the Gators are first and goal inside the 5-yard line, trying to get into the end zone.
Yeah, with DK made a big catch along the sideline to set him up.
And Lagway's thrown the ball better here in the second half, which he needs to do. I think he needs to feel good about himself going in. But yeah, I think the Jags may win 2 of the last 3 games. I don't know if that's going to help the franchise because I think I saw something, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how these games play out, they've run a formula. The Jags will pick either from somewhere between 1 and 11. I don't think,
Sounds right.
1 and 11. They won't go any deeper than 11. I don't think you're going to get a lot of help at 10 or 11, but that's just me. Hey, Florida's fighting the play clock. 2, 1.
Yep.
First drive, 3rd quarter. They can't get the play in. So there you have it. All right, Zach. We got our picks in. Let's take a break. Our final break. Come back. We're wrapping up the show. I got a couple topics. You may have 1 or 2 we can hit as well. Well, Fun Friday, Football Friday, coming to you from Rick Jack Beach, Terry Norvelle, and you. We'll close things down as Florida is in the 3rd quarter trying to get in the end zone for the first time against Tulane. The Gators lead 6-0.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
So Florida fails to get in the end zone after a goal to go at the 5-ish yard line. Gators lining up to try their 3rd field goal of the game. Florida leading Tulane 6-0. A miserable offensive performance by the Florida Gators. Terry Norvelle, Zach Rothrock, our producer. Zach, this reeks of, and I'm not saying this is the wrong approach for Billy Napier and the Gators going into this bowl game, but this performance on offense reeks of Napier kind of gave his team this trip to Tampa as a true reward. You can kind of tell, and it's easier to play defense. You just chase the ball, right? You can kind of tell. You don't think the Florida staff grinded during these practices, these bowl practices. And Zach, this is not fair to Tulane, but I'm going to say it. Another thing I think that's working against Florida in this sloppy offensive performance, Florida is playing a non-name brand. Tulane doesn't excite you. Tulane gets excited. They're playing Florida, the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't think it helped the overall focus of this team, Florida, playing Tulane. Nobody, it's not like, hey, let's go beat the Big Ten school or the Big 12 school. Does that make any sense at all?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, they some of them are kind of playing loose, kind of treating it like a scrimmage, getting their super seniors some playing time, coming out in goofy formations like they did in the first drive. But I mean, they've really they've controlled the game. They just keep on they turned the ball over in the red zone and they can't finish drives. That's really it. I mean, they could be blowing Tulane out right now, even with them kind of taking this
a
approach.
nonchalant, particularly on offense. And you may say, well, wait a minute, Terry, the defense is playing well. And well, they're playing against a depleted Tulane offense, but the defense is playing well. It's a lot easier to play if you're better athletes. It's a lot easier to play defense, right? I mean, you just kind of go with your defense. I'm not so sure the Gator coaching staff approach to this game. It just feels like if I was around Florida their last 10 practices, I don't think they grinded hard. You can kind of tell. So it's not a real good performance by Florida. Hey, Zach, as we're getting out of here, we got a couple of topics we can hit and have some fun to shut this week down. The big win for me coming out of bowl season, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my favorite story. And I don't know if you followed the Pop-Tart Bowl much. Have you followed that? You got a.
I'm slightly familiar.
I think it's Miami taking on Iowa State.
That's right.
Is in the Pop-Tart Bowl, and it's in that same stadium. I believe it's Camping World.
Yes.
It might have been the old Citra. I can't remember what game it was. They changed the name, but it's the Pop-Tart. I guess Kellogg's Pop-Tart Bowl. Number one, you know I love me some Pop-Tarts, right?
Oh, yeah. How can you not?
Are you a Pop-Tart guy?
Oh, but yeah. I actually recently discovered that when they came out of the toaster, put some butter on it. Man,
yes. Did I tell you that?
That's some. I don't think so. I think I discovered this on the internet.
I told Patrick, hey, you melt some butter on top of those Pop-Tarts. But do you know anything about the Pop-Tart Bowl trophy?
Oh, yeah. It is fully functional as a toaster.
Is that not the best thing ever? Last year they had the Pop-Tart Bowl trophy, and it had kind of a toaster look about it, right?
Yeah.
This year, they took the trophy and they sent it to GE, General Electric Appliances, right?
Right.
And they said, hey, man, you think you guys can work this thing up? The Pop-Tart Bowl trophy has, like most trophies, it has a big football on the top, but kind of where the laces are at on the football, it's kind of flat a little bit. And they have two toaster slots, and it's functional, like you just said.
Yeah.
You can cook. They're going to cook Pop-Tarts in it after the game and give out to the winning team.
They're thin. They're Pop-Tart size. I'm thinking you can stick a piece of bread in there. It looks like it's too thin for bread. The Gators got a big interception, by the way. I agree. So, are they gonna dunk Pop-Tarts on the coach when they win instead of Gatorade?
Yeah.
How does that work? Yeah, I guess so. Gators just got an interception.
Yeah, Florida just interception around their own 40, I think it is.
Yep.
What about? And this is disgusting. The way they do the Mayo Bowl and they douse the winning coach in mayo.
Yeah, I'm okay without that. I don't need that.
I'm a mayo guy, but it's pretty gross. That much mayo is gross, isn't it?
No, yeah, I'm not a mayo guy. Every time I see that Will Levis commercial, it makes me feel a little sick with where he's drinking it or taking a shower in it or whatever he's doing. Yeah, I can do without that.
Have you, I don't know if you've been watching this Gator Bowl game close enough. When they came on the air, the Andre Ware is the analyst. I can't think of the name of the play-by-play guy, but when they came on the air, they were had a tight shot in the booth, kind of setting up the game. And, the Gasparilla Bowl, Tampa, the stadium, the Buccaneers, it's got the ship. Have you seen the shirts that the guys are wearing? They're wearing those puffy pirate shirts.
Yeah. It reminds me of Jerry Seinfeld. I don't want to be a pirate. Yeah,
that was the
first thing I thought of.
It's the Seinfeld puffy shirt episode.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you gotta get into the theme when you're doing the bowl. Sure.
I'm not so sure. That look works for everybody. I don't want to really try that myself.
Yeah, I've seen more egregious things in Walmart every time I go in there. So
I'm with you there. I will say this though, isn't it amazing? It looks perfect on Captain Jack Sparrow, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he knows how to pull it off for sure.
Man, he does. Zach, what do you think? I know we talked about these games and we picked them. We got 4 games, 1 tonight, 3 tomorrow. Do you think we have many upsets, or I mean, we pick with the points. What about just straight up? I mean, are the home teams going to run the board? You think?
I feel like there's got to be at least one. It seems like every NFL wild card weekend, there's always at least one upset, and I kind of feel like this is almost like a wild card weekend. So I think there'll be at least one. If I had to guess who I think it will be, I think it's going to be Coach Kurt Cignetti and Indiana Hoosiers.
Indiana getting
little bro against Notre Dame. I do.
You know, of the first 4 games of the playoff, really the big one, and I say the big one because it's going to really help start out anyway. Bragging rights, and I hate to be a guy that plays both sides of the fence, but if Ohio State tomorrow night beats Tennessee, well, SEC Nation will say, well, you played in your own stadium.
Yeah,
right?
They were the home team. That was exactly.
They're the home team. But I tell you one thing, it's a little dicey for the Big Ten and Ohio State. If Tennessee goes in there and beats them, they also get to play and y'all always talk about the cold weather. Ooh, look what the cold weather did.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's a little dicey game, I think, tomorrow night in Columbus. It's bigger for the Big Ten Ohio State than I think for the SEC. Does that make any sense?
No, yeah, it does make. Yeah, it's they have more to lose with the loss than like they would have to gain from a win, I think, almost.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And that will be a big boy. Can you imagine the SEC the rest of the weekend if Tennessee goes in there and wins? Oh, they will crow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another one. And honestly, like thinking about it, I mean, I could see that one being an upset as well. I think SMU's got a puncher's chance in Penn State as well. Yeah. I think there could be more than one upset, but I think there'll be at least one for sure.
It's nice. It's a nice 4 games, and it's also nice, I think. And SMU's the big one. There's a little freshness in it, well, Indiana as well. SMU and Indiana, a little freshness, a little newness.
Yeah, it's not the same old. It's not just Alabama versus Clemson again. It's not the same old thing. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? It looks like it's been reported that it looks like Carson Beck's done for the year. He's definitely not playing in the first round game for Georgia.
What is he a senior? Was this his senior season or is he a junior?
He has the option to come back.
He's got to come back. It feels like if he could have come, if he could have come out into the draft heading into this season, he would have had a higher stock than he does right now. He's got to come back.
One of those unique situations. And let me back up. I said he's had a bad year. He's had a bad year according to the projections, and I think he would agree. Mm-hmm. If you gave him and his family truth serum, he hasn't played to his projections, and it's hurt him. What happens if Gunnar Stockton leads Georgia to a couple wins?
He might. I'll tell you what. He's not going to be afraid to put his body on the line and take a big hit for the team. Well, he's going to go out there and do it.
I mean, and we're putting the cart way before the horse. What if Gunnar Stockton plays good football? Georgia wins a couple games or wins the national title. If Georgia wins a couple games in the national title, Gunnar Stockton would have played well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I expect them to. I filled out a bracket earlier. I had Georgia going to the championship game. I expect them to be there.
Let me finish where I'm going.
Yeah.
If Gunnar Stockton leads Georgia to a couple wins, plays well, even a national title, if you're Carson Beck, you can't. I don't think you can at all say, "Well, I'm going in the draft." I think his draft stock is plummeted. Would Carson Beck have to transfer portal out somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Hey, hold on. The last thing he would want is to return to Athens and lose his freaking job.
Yeah, no, I think the portal would be in his future for sure. I think you would almost have to.
Wow. How about that? How far did that turn? I mean, this guy went from possible first pick in the draft. Remember, there was talk for. I'm not anti Carson Beck, and I know we got 1 minute left. Mm-hmm. I'm not anti Carson Beck, but I've never been enamored by his play. I think he's an average player.
No, yeah, there's nothing special about him. He should be that field general guy, but he's been turning the ball over way too much.
Yeah, I mean, to the naked eye, and I'm not a scout, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
To the naked eye, is Carson Beck any better than Jake Fromm, and Jake Fromm was not an NFL prospect. I mean, he was a good, solid. He may be holding a clipboard somewhere. He's not an NFL.
No, the team around Carson Beck is better than what Jake Fromm had, but no, as an individual, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Zachary, that'll wrap it up, man. Good stuff, man. Fun time, fun atmosphere. Florida still leading 9-0 over Tulane. Gators going to hold on to win, but some issues and I guess you need issues going into spring ball, but not the best offensive performance, maybe not the best focused offensive performance, I could say. And Billy Napier, he's got to make the right moves in the offseason. Florida is definitely also not a finished product as they sit right now, roster and coaching staff. That'll wrap it up. I want to thank you for hanging out with us today and all week. We want to thank our good friends here at Bricks Jack's Beach as well, our Friday home. We'll get back together on Monday. A lot of ball to talk about on Monday. Don't miss it. The Young and Norvelle Show coming back Monday, 4 to 6, live from Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional.